Toma.
Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to unpack how businesses are managed, looking specifically at different management styles.
Yeah, and we've got some interesting source material that really seems to focus on, well, two main approaches people see today.
Exactly.
Okay.
You've got what's generally called traditional management and then this more collaborative style.
That's right. They seem quite distinct.
Definitely. And so our mission here for this deep dive is to really get a handle on these two. What are they? What are their, strengths and weaknesses? The goal is to give you, our listener who wants to get knowledge efficiently, a really solid overview of these key ways workplaces can be run.
Great. So should we start with the traditional one, the classic model?
Yeah, let's do that. What does that typically look like according to our sources?
Well, it's often quite hierarchical. Think pyramid structure. Managers are clearly at the top. They make the calls.
And the employees.
Employees are primarily there to execute those decisions. Our sources suggest there's not usually a lot of room for questioning things.
Oh.
Information flow is often limited, more like need to know, and employee suggestions, generally not part of this standard process.
Right. And you often see pretty strict rules, too, like roles, hours, maybe even dress code.
Exactly. Very defined structure.
So it's very top-down. But I suppose the advantage is speed, maybe. Decisions get made faster.
That's certainly one potential upside highlighted. Fewer people involved, decisions can theoretically be quicker, plus you're leveraging the manager's experience. That's the idea anyway.
Makes sense. But what's the potential drawback then?
Well, a key one mentioned is that you might be missing out on a lot of good ideas. If employees aren't really asked or encouraged to contribute insights,
Then you're potentially underutilizing the knowledge across the whole team.
precisely, you might not tap into valuable perspectives, especially from people closer to the actual work.
Okay, so that's traditional. Now, what about the other side? This collaborative style sounds quite different.
It really is. The emphasis shifts heavily towards cooperation and, importantly, individual responsibility within a team framework.
So less about just taking orders.
Yeah, much more involvement. Employees often participate in identifying problems, figuring out solutions, even, having a say in the final decisions.
And information sharing, more open.
Generally, yes. High information sharing, a big focus on teamwork, and those employee suggestions we talked about, they're actually encouraged, actively sought out sometimes.
And the rules tend to be a bit looser. Dress codes, maybe flexible hours.
Often, yeah. More flexibility tends to align with that collaborative approach.
Okay, so what are the big pluses for this style?
Well, for one, you potentially get way more ideas on the table, different viewpoints.
It's like bringing in perspectives maybe management hadn't considered.
Exactly. One source mentioned junior employees identifying social media opportunities missed by senior staff, that kind of thing. Plus, better access to information can make employees more effective in their roles.
And feeling valued, I imagine that helps motivation.
Definitely. When people feel their input matters, it tends to boost morale and engagement. That's a common theme.
So you're tapping into the whole group's brain power, essentially. But are there potential downsides to being so open?
There can be. Decision-making, for instance, might take longer. Getting consensus from more people, it just takes time.
Sure, more discussion needed.
Right. And although maybe less common with proper safeguards, there's always a slight risk with more open information sharing. Potentially sensitive stuff getting out.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got these two styles. If we boil it right down, what's the absolute core difference?
Fundamentally, it's top-down decisions versus shared or distributed decisions. That's the heart of it.
And the trade-offs for business seem to be what? Efficiency versus inclusivity, control versus empowerment, something like that.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. Traditional often leans towards efficiency and clear control. Collaborative leans towards harnessing collective intelligence and empowering employees.
And it sounds like, based on the sources, there's no single best way that fits every single company.
Absolutely not. It really depends. The type of business, the industry, even just the specific people working there. It all plays a role in what works best.
So a tech startup might thrive with one style, while maybe, a regulated factory needs something else.
That's a good way to put it. Context is key.
Is it possible to mix and match? A hybrid approach?
Oh, definitely. That's mentioned too. Many organizations are finding ways to blend elements, being flexible depending on the team or the task. It's not always strictly one or the other.
Okay, good. So quick recap then. Traditional management, more hierarchical, focus on efficient decision-making from the top, and a collaborative management, more team-based, emphasizing shared input and employee involvement.
Correct. Each with its own set of pros and cons, and the best fit really depends on the specific situation.
Right. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. Considering what we've discussed, these traditional versus collaborative models, what style do you feel would work best in your current job? Or maybe the kind of place you'd ideally like to work?
And why? What aspects make you lean one way or the other? It's definitely worth reflecting on for your own context.